Hello and welcome to Be It Tech Works. So today we are going to continue building our application, and the first thing that I want us to do today is to push our code to our GitHub. So I'm going to go to my GitHub here, and then the other thing that I want us to do is to check the branches that we have in this project. So I'm going to do git branch here, and you can see right now we are in the master branch here. I want to switch to the other branch that you are calling backend, because right now we are working with the back, yeah, we are working here the backend functionality. So let us do that. So to switch your branch, you can do git checkout, and then we can add the name of the branch, and in our case is backend. So I have switched that, and if you do git branch, then again here you'll be able to see that the backend here branch has been highlighted using green. And now I want to now push my code now, so I can do git add and then everything. Then I think if it is a green, that means that we don't have any code that we should push. So let me try and add here GitHub worked worked on the worked on the backend, worked or created authentication. Let me add the comment, created authentication here, and we can also be able to push now our code. So git push origin, and right now because we are pushing another branch, we are going to specify that branch, and it is backend. So let's try and push this branch, and also let's do add our passphrase here, and then after that now we'll be able to push that code here. So I want you to notice something when I come to that repo here in my GitHub. So let us see how it will happen. So here we have this full stack parcel delivery system that we added as our repo, and if you are not getting this, that means that maybe you have not watched the previous video, so you can go back and watch those videos. So when I open this repo here, you'd be able to see the notification to pull request here. So after it has loaded, you'll be able to see that here. So you can see here backend had recent pushes 70 or 37 seconds ago. So I can just do compare and pull request here, and then after that also I'll be able to merge. So this is the work of mostly project manager, who are able to compare your code first of all before they merge with the other code. So let's do that, and it's taking time, so we're gonna wait for some time. And also the other thing that I'm planning to do today, I'm going to restructure my code, and I'm going to use controllers, because in the last video, if you check here, I had no controllers, but one of you commented on my video and asked if I could use controllers, and that is what I'm going to do. And because I was feeling like this project is not that big to use controllers, so we are going to use controllers, and we are going to use something that is called MVC, model view control. So let us also make sure that we created a folder here called controllers before our GitHub loads. So right now it has loaded, and here you can be able to see the comment that we created authentication, and here also you can see like a project manager can give you maybe a description, maybe your code is not up to standard or something like that, and then or he can be able to, or she can be able to compare the code here. So if project manager is pleased with what you have pushed, then she or he can do pull request here. So create pull request, because that's the work of the project manager, and then again this one will be able to merge now. So you can see created authentication, you can see here the badge is open, and then after now these are compatibility. After it is checking for compatibility, then it will be able to merge automatically. So I'm going to wait until this is checking for ability to merge automatically, and then yes, you can see here. So you can do merge pull request now and then confirm merge. So it is merging, and then I'm going to go to the tab for insight so that you'll be able to see what I mean when I'm creating a new branch. And also you can be able to see how this project we are working on, how it will be. So here you can see we have insights. Under insight, you'll be able to see another tab that is called network. So this one here, and then here you can be able to track all the branches that you are going to create. So just click here network, and under network here you'll be able to see the graph that will show us the branches. So I'm going to click network here, and it is loading very slow, so we might pause this video, and then when it has finished loading, that means that we can continue. So right here our GitHub has finished loading, and right here you can see where we started tracking our code, and you can see we have now this backend here that also we have merged here with our master branch. So now that is what I wanted to show you under this insight and then network. So I'm going back to my code here, and I'm going to now be able to restructure my code. So let me also push this part down here so that we can have space where we can work in. So here also you can see we have our backend. Now we have our controller, and now the controller, this is where we are going to have the logic. So I'm going to move the logic here from the these routes here, and this route will be only for the routes, and then I will push, or I will keep that logic here in controller. So I'm going to create auth here, another auth.js like that, and then here I can be able now to transfer the logic here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a function, and this function, because I'm going to export, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to start with const, and then this one I can call register, and then register user. Let's do register user here. So this one will be the function of registering the user. So this is also a function, but our function will have the request and the response. So just like this. So this one is for registering the user. So here we are going to have the request, and then also we are going to have the response. And inside here now we'll be having the logic. So then again also I'll create another function, and this function here will be for logging in. So let's do that. So here you are going to have login user like that, and then here we can have also we are going to have now the function here, and this one also will have like a request and then the response. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to now copy I'm going to copy everything from now registering here, or even I'm going to cut it because I'm not going to require this function inside these routes. So let's get in here, and I'm going to paste here. Of course we need to make sure that we have a sync here, and also we are going to import some of the stuff here. So some of the things that we are going to require from here is for example this crypto.js also user here, and then also the .env here. All these we are going to copy them, or even I'm going to cut them, and then I'm going to paste them here in my logic, because this is where they will be required. So here we have JWT and everything. So also I'm going to copy the functionality here, or I'm going to cut the functionality from this logging in here like that, and then now I will be able to add it or paste it here in login user. So now controller is only for logic. So after this, now let me format my code, let me see where the problem is. You can see here we have we need to add async because we are using await in this function here. So that is async. Now you can see everything is okay. So now let's go back into my routes here. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make sure also I remove this here from this part, because this one will not handle now the logic. And right here now I can call the function that, or the logic that we have created in controllers, and use it here. So this one I can call register user. Let me see if there will be auto completion, and you can see here we have auto completion. So I'm going to actually, you can see here I have been able to at least auto complete that, and also import that from controllers and then out. And then also here I will do the same for the logging in. So here, so let's do login right here. And then you can see now, actually let me see, yeah, you can see it has been imported automatically. So now also I can be able to format the code here. And the other thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to comment, so that also somebody who will be actually reading this code will be able to understand. So in our controllers also, I'm going to make sure that this one I comment is register user, register user, like that, and then login user, login user here, like that. So I have now these two functions here, and now we can continue with other functionality. But before that also we can test our backend using Postman. And before I initialize Postman here, also you can be at least subscribing to this YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed, and also you can like this video so that also it may reach many other people. And also don't forget to hit that notification bell. So let me look for Postman here, like that. So let's open Postman. So if you don't have Postman, you can download Postman, and then you can be able to test our backend together, because right now we don't have our frontend. So we cannot test our backend using our frontend. So let's do that. And right now it is loading. So we can just wait until it has finished loading. So here you can see on top left here, you can be able to see we have this icon here for the plus, and this is where we can be able to create a collection. So I'm going to create a blank collection here, and I can name this collection any name that I want. And then right here we can be able, in this collection we can be able to make requests that we want. So right here I want to rename this collection here. So let it load, and it's taking a time to load. And I think also my Postman is as if it has some issues. So what we are going to do is that, because we are not going to wait again for it to load, so we are going to just leave it like that, and then we can continue with other things like the logic for register, or for getting all the users, and also for deleting the user, and then we'll be able to test it later on. So let me just close the Postman. And right here, the other thing that I want to do is that I'm going to route here, and I'm going to create another route for that will have the route for registering, not registering, but getting all the users, and also be able to make sure that we delete the user. So right here, I'm going to create another route, and this one will be called user.js. And the same here for the controller, also I will do the same. I'm going to create user.js, and this is where we are going to have the functionality. So here for the user.js here, we are going to create now the route. So I'm going to do the same here. We are going to have to import express. So I'm going to require express here. So express, and then I'm going to also make sure that I create route. So const, and then router, and then here I can call the express, and then the function called router here so that we can be able to create the route. So the first route is for deleting the user. So I'm going to have deleting user here. And then before I forget is that we need also to export this router. So module.x export, and then we can export now the router here like that. And then here also we can make sure that we have router. So router dot now this is delete, so we are going to use delete here like that, and then we can have that here. And the route here should have an ID, because we are going to use ID to delete that user. But right now, because we don't have the functionality for deleting our user here, we are just going to leave it like that. And also we are going to have another route for get all users in our database. And right here I'm going to use router, and then this one is get. And now this is because we don't have to have like we are not going to have like we don't have to have ID. Then I can leave it like that. And then now we can go and in our index.js also we need to make sure that we import that router first of all, and then we are going to create now the functionality for deleting the user and getting all the users in our controllers. So let me just come here in index.js, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have app.use, and then here in routes, and then here I can have users like that. And then I can import now the what we are going to call the user route. So const, and then here you can have user route like that. And then here this one will be require, and then also here we can have to import it from routes, and then you'll be able to see the user here like that. So here let's do that user route, and you can be able to see it. Now we have imported it there. So now let's go now and create the functionality to do that in our controllers. So let me close this, and then also I think I can be able now to close this, but let me just leave it like that. Also I can just close that out. So we are here in the users, and we can be able to create now the functionality here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is also to be able to make sure that I import the model for the user. So here I'm going to say user, and then this one let's have a capital U, and then here is require, and then also here we can have now and from the routes, so not from the models, sorry. So and then also we are going to get it from the user schema. So after that, now I think we don't have to have anything else first of all. So here we are going to actually make sure that this is the functionality for deleting. So deleting, let me just add the deleting user here, and we are going to have another one here for get all users. So let me add here get all users like that. So right here what we can do is we can now have the function. So this is export const, and then this is delete user like that. So this is a function that has a request and then response. And right here also we can have now the functionality inside here. So let me also have this one here, another function here for get all users. So this is export get all users like that. And then this is request response, and then here we can have now the rest the delete user here. So now I'm going to create now the functionality here, and then try and then catch. So let me start by try catch here, because we can have the error. And right here what I can do is that I can have a wait, and here means that we need to add a sync here, so that this will be a synchronous function. because we don't know the time that it will take to delete the user from our database. And then I can use now the model user, and then I can say find by ID and delete. So like that, and then here we can be able now to use. Let me just come here and have the request dot params, because we need to have the ID. So request dot params and then ID, like that. And this one will be, we are going to access it because in our route we are passing the ID. So now after that, now also we are going to have now to send our message. So here is 201 and then .json, and then here we can be able to send the message the user has been deleted successfully, like that. And then here down in our error we can have res.status, like that, and then or here we can have like the status code of 500 and then .json, and then you can send that error, like that. So now we have the other functionality for getting all the users, and here it's a pretty simple thing. So try catch, and then here we can have now and the users, so const users here, and then this one we are going to await first of all, and here also this is async, because we don't know the time that it will take to fetch the users from our database. So this is user, and here we are just going to use this find, and because we want to sort our users, because we need to get the users from the user who has been be able to created the like the last user to be created should be appear when we are fetching. That user should appear among the, or should be the first user to be fetched, or it should be the first element in our array. So let's do that. So we are going to sort, and these are the function of MongoDB. These are not my function. So here is we are going to use sort, and inside here sort we can have an object, and here we can have created at, and then here we can have -1. So just like that. So that's how we can be able to sort our users from the latest one, and then we can be able to send them to our front end. So this is res.status, here is 200, and then .json, and then here we can send now the users, like that. So here also I can have now the error. So here .res status, and then 500 can have .json, and then here we can have to send the error that it is that we have. If we have the error, we can send it here. So now let me actually save this, and then I'm going to format, and you can see here we are experiencing the error, and this is because we have not included the functionality here. So now let's import that, and we can call it delete user, and you'll be able to see here the auto completion, and then you can be able to import it from our controllers here, and also the same here for the get all users here. And then now that's okay. I think I can save that. Also I can be able to save this here. So, and then let's see if we get any error, and then here I can be able to see that I have an error, and I don't know this error where it's coming from. So let's try and see what is happening. So here we have export const, and then register user. You cannot see here unexpected token const, and this is in the auth here. So let's try and see what's wrong. So in auth here we are having this error here. So export const, and then here in our register export const, let me see where the error is coming from. So this is export const, and then So what we are going to do is that, first of all, we are going to ignore this error because I don't know where this error is coming from, and then we are going to resolve this error later on where we are testing our backend. So maybe let me first of all also close this and also this here, and then we are going to get into the functionality for the parcel. So let's first of all also create parcel here. So the parcel route, here we have parcel.js, and then also we are going to have the functionality here for the parcel, that, and then this is JS, and then here we are going to have the functionality to do the same. So let's get into the functionality for the parcel. In the routes here, let's get into the routes first of all, and then here I can be able to import express. So the express require express here, and then we can have express here, and then also the other thing that we are going to do is to create the router. So here we have the router, and this one is coming from express, and then dot router here as a function. And now make sure that you import it first of all. So this is module dot exports, and then let's export the router here, and then now we can have different routes. We can have different routes here. So the first route here is for adding the parcel. So add parcel like that, and here we can have now the router, and then this one is post function. So here we can have the route, and then we are going to have functionality there. So the other thing, the other route that we are going to have here is get all parcels, get all parcels here, and then here we can have the router, and then actually this is router here with small r, and then this one is get function or get method, and then here we can have from the route, and then here we can have now the functionality. So the other one here we can have is we can have the another functionality for updating our parcel. So update parcel here, and then here we can have now the route, but this route we are going to make sure that we pass the ID, because remember this one is we require ID to know which parcel we are going to update. So here I can add that, and then can have the ID there, and then the functionality for updating. So now after that we can have another functionality, and this functionality will be for getting only one parcel. So I'm going to get one parcel like that, and in here I can be able also to create the route for that, and then this one is it has just and just this one is just a get function or method, and then here I can have find, and then this one also need to have an ID, and right here you can see we are using find here because we cannot just add get here and just ID, because we need to differentiate that. So here also we need to make sure that we add the functionality from our controller, and then the other functionality that we can have here is get let's add here get users parcel, so that we can show the sender the parcel that they have sent, and also they have received, or the one they are expecting to receive. So here this one will be router. So this one is router here. Here we are going to use post method, and here this one will be having a route of me, and then the functionality there. So we can have also the other one, which is for deleting the parcel. So here we can have delete parcel like that. Then this route will be router. Actually this one is router with small r, and then here is the delete method. Then here we can have now the ID also. We're going to pass the ID, and then here we can have now the functionality. So we are going to build all this functionality now in this controller here. So we have the controller here. So let's do that. And the other thing that I want to make sure that I do before I forget is that here we need also, I have already created the user route in our index.js. So let me go back here, and now for our route here, we have already created the routes that we need. So now we can get here, and here the first thing that I'm going to do is to import the parcel model schema. From now, we are going to import it from our models. So this one is from models, yeah, and then from the parcel, like that. So here now we can create other functions now. So export const, so export const, and now before that, actually I need also to comment. So let me comment the functionality here for adding the parcel. So this one is for adding the parcel. Need to add the comment add parcel or create parcel. Let me call it that. Create a parcel, and then here we can have now the functionality. So let me have a space here. So this one is we're going to call it create parcel, like that, and then this is also a function like that, and then here we can have now the functionality. So this is request and then response, like that, and inside here now we can be able to do the functionality for that. So it is try catch, so we are going to use try catch here so that we can catch the errors that can occur when we are adding the parcel to a database. So also here I can just add const parcels, and then here I can be able to await, and that means that we need to add a sync here. And then here I can call the parcel, and then this one here will be, we are going to create like that functionality here. So this one we are going to have the parcel, and then I can accept request.body, and then we can save it. So this is actually the parcel. I'm going to call it new parcel here, new parcel, and then here I can be able now, actually this one we don't have to have a wait. We are going to have a wait when we are saving into a database. So here I can have const now the parcel here, and then I can have now a wait and new parcel, and then dot save. You can be able to have this function for MongoDB, and then now I can be able to send it to now the front end. So status and then 201 here and dot JSON, and then this is a parcel we can send to our front end. The other thing is here we can have rest.status. This one is 500, and then we can send the error. So this is error that we are sending in our front end. So now the other functionality that we are going to create here is export, and then here is for getting all the parcels. So here we'll have get all parcels here, and then here I can have get. Now let me first of all start by export. So export const, and then can have get all parcels here, parcel like that. So also this is a function that has request and the response. So request and then response here. So this one should be comma here. So and then inside here now I can have that functionality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by try catch here also. So try catch, and inside here can be able to try and fetch the parcels. So here is the parcels, and then also I need to have a wait, and here I can have a sync here like that, and also I can have the parcel model parcel, and then I can have the function to find them in our database, and then I can sort like that. So here I can add created art here, and then I can have to sort it, and then also I can send now the parcels to our front end. So dot status, this is 200, and then dot json, and then send now the parcels. So we have the parcels there like that, and then here we can have now the error. So rest dot status, and then here is 500, and then dot json, and then this one we can send the error here like that. So now we have two functionality here for the parcel. Now we can add the third functionality, and the third functionality is for updating. So here I can have the update. So update, let me add it here, update the parcel like that, and in here I can be able to add now the functionality. So export, and then const, here is update parcel like that, and then here I can be able to just add this function. So this is a request. We have request here and response, so pretty much similar to the other function that we have created. And inside here we can do the same, try, and then catch here. So then again here I can be able to have a parcel after it has been updated. So here we can have a wait, a sync here, a sync, and then here I can have like a parcel dot find find by ID. That's the function for MongoDB, and in here I can have the request dot params, and then dot ID like that. And then now the other thing that I'm going to do is to send it to our front end. So rest dot status, and then we can be able to get that to at least 00 like that, or even we can just have 201 as a creation status code, and then here we can have now the parcel, send it to our front end. Then here also if we have the error, we can have the status of 500, then .json, and we can send that error here. So that error. So we have the other functionality for now getting only one parcel. So let's do that. So this is for updating. So we can have get one parcel here. So get one parcel, and we can have const, export const, and then get one parcel like that. And then here we can have now the functionality. So this one also, it has request and then response, can have the function here. So now inside here we can have try catch, and then here we can also make sure that we get that parcel from our database. So parcel, and then also here remember we are going to use the ID because we need to get that one parcel. So await, and then here async, and also you can see here also we need to get the parcel model, and then here you can use now the function find by ID like that, and then we can pass now the ID request dot params, and then dot ID, and then we can be able to send that. So rest dot status, and then this one is 200, and then .json, and then we can have the parcel sent to our front end. So parcel like that. So also we can have now the here for the error. So status 500.json, and then we can send the error now like that. So now the other functionality here is get users parcel. So let's do that. Get users parcel like that. So this one should be the parcel that are for our user. So we are going to use email here. So I'm going to have the function here. So export const get here get get users parcel, or get user parcel like that. And then this one is also a function that has request and then response like that. And then inside here you can have try catch, so here like that. And then I'm going to make sure that I get those parcels. So I'm going to get the parcels using this model here called parcel, and then here I need to add a wait like that. Then this is async right here. And then also the other thing that I'm going to do here is to get using now this function that is called find. So find, and here this function accepts the variable that you want to send using, or the parcel, or the field that you want to get your parcels using. So this one is we are going to use a field that is called sender email, and then here we can have now our request.body.email here like that. And then this one should get the emails or the parcel that belong to this email. So I'm going to make sure that also I sort. So sort here, and I'm going to have created at, and then -1 right there. And then after that, now I can return that to the front end. So this one is 200, and then JSON, and then this one is parcels like that. If we have error, then again, yeah, I can just copy and paste because it's the same thing. So copy and then paste here. So I think now we have only one functionality that we need to add here, but let me just check. So right here we are on get all users parcel, so we have to have this one for deleting. And then now let's do that here. Delete a parcel like that. And here we can have now export const, and then delete. Let's do delete parcel here, and then this is a function also. So here we can do that. Request response here, request and then response, and inside here we can have try and then catch. So try catch, and then again here we can have a wait, and then parcel dot find by id like that. So this one should have async here, async. So find by id, you can see here find by id and delete like that. And then here we can use the id. So the id will be sent using params. So this is request.params.id, and then now we can send like a message. So res.status, here it will be 201, and then .json, and then here we can send a message, parcel has been has been deleted successfully, like that. And then now down here also I can now have the error sent to our front end, like that. So we can format that. We get into our parcel here, and we can be able to import all those functions now. So here will be create. We have that functionality for create. So let me first of all make sure that I also save that in controller. And then here we can have create parcel. So I'm going to call it here. So create parcel. So you can see here auto completion, and right here we cannot be able to see it. So I'm going to try and import it manually. So let me import. Here I can see we have export const create parcel. So I'm going to try and import that. So import, and then this one is from now the controllers. So here we have let me try and get from the controllers here. You can see controllers, and then this one is parcel. So let's see. So we have the parcel here in our controller, like that. I think that's the how it should be. So yeah, you can see here we have parcel here, and then again we can now be able to import create parcel. You can be able to see it there. So create parcel here as the functionality. So also we can have get all parcel. So you can see here the function, and it is being imported here automatically. The other thing is update parcel. So I need to get it from controllers here. I auto import, you can see it there. And then the other one is for the get one here, one parcel. And then here we have get user parcel, and then we can have now delete parcel. So delete parcel, like this one here. And now the other thing that we are going to do here is that when we are going to create middlewares that we will be checking for authentication, we are going to add it here before we call our functionality, so that when we make route request in this here in for example add parcel here, it will run middleware before actually going to fetch that data or getting into our create parcel here. So that is it. We are going to create middleware in the next video. Also here I'm going to make sure that I import the route. So here I can paste that, and then here this one will be parcel route. So parcel like that, and then this one should be the parcel like that. And then now I can create the route here like that, and then me paste here. This one is for the parcels like that, and then here we can have parcel route. So parcel route like that, and then I can save this. And then because I don't want this video to be very long, I want to end this video. So in the next video, first of all, we are going to tackle this error, and then also we are going to make sure that we test our backend until where we are, and then also we are going to create middlewares for checking if the user is authenticated, in order for us to be able to know which data they can access and how to control them. So that is it. If you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also like this video. And again, you can turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So see you, and have a great day.